4 months after my sister's wedding, the videographer called me. "Emmett, this is Tony Hart. I filmed Daisy's wedding in September. I need you to come to my studio. There's something in the footage you need to see before I deliver the final video to your sister." I was at my desk, reviewing a client's portfolio, coffee going cold in my hand. "What kind of something?" A pause, long enough to make my stomach tighten. "I'd rather show you in person. Can you come today? This afternoon?" "Tony, just tell me what—" "Please, Emmett, you need to see this first, before Daisy does." The way he said it, the careful weight in his voice, like he was carrying something fragile and dangerous at the same time. "I'll be there in an hour." I hung up, stared at my screen, client portfolio forgotten. What could be in Daisy's wedding video that I needed to see before she did? Before we go further, have you ever discovered something that changed everything you thought you knew about your family? A secret that reframed your entire life? Share your story in the comments, and if you want more true stories about family secrets, second chances, and truths that change everything, hit that subscribe button and notification bell so you never miss our next story. Tony Hart's studio was in northeast Minneapolis, tucked between a coffee roaster and a vintage furniture shop. I'd never been there before. Daisy had handled all the wedding vendor meetings. I'd just shown up, walked her down half the aisle, Dad got the second half, and tried not to cry during the vows. The studio was small but professional. Editing bays, monitors, shelves of hard drives labeled with dates and names. Tony met me at the door. Mid-40s, graying temples, kind eyes with worry in them. "Thanks for coming." He shook my hand. "I know this is strange, but I promise you'll understand why I called." "Okay." He led me to an editing bay. Large monitor, 2 chairs. He gestured for me to sit. "I've been editing Daisy's wedding video for the past few weeks, taking my time to get it perfect. You know how it is, couple waits months for the final product, wants it to be exactly right." "Right." "I was working on the ceremony footage yesterday, the wide shots from the back of the venue, and I noticed something." He pulled up a file. Clicked. The monitor filled with Daisy's wedding. The image froze on the screen. Daisy in her white dress, halfway down the aisle. Dad beside her holding her arm, crying, happy but devastated at the same time, because Mom wasn't there to see it. "Beautiful ceremony," Tony said quietly. "But look here." He clicked to a different angle, wide shot from the back, the entire venue visible. Rows of guests. The arbor up front, trees lining the sides of the outdoor space. I noticed something in the background, behind that oak tree on the left, see? He zoomed in, slowly, pixel by pixel, a figure, partially obscured by the tree trunk, standing far back from the ceremony, watching. A woman. Tony zoomed closer. The image pixelated slightly but remained clear enough. Dark hair, thin frame, older, maybe 50, wearing a simple navy dress. "I almost missed her," Tony said. "She stayed back, away from everyone. But I had my camera running the whole ceremony and she's in about 40 seconds of footage." My pulse quickened. Okay, so someone was watching from the back. Maybe a guest who arrived late? That's what I thought at first, but then I saw this. He switched to a different clip earlier in the ceremony. Before Daisy walked down the aisle, the empty chair, front row, reserved for family. On the seat, a framed photograph. Mom, Jennifer Duncan, young, smiling, taken maybe 18 years ago before everything fell apart. Daisy had placed it there. A tribute. A way to include Mom in the ceremony even though she was gone. "I filmed this," Tony said. "The detail shots, the flowers, the programs, the family photos, standard stuff. And then I went back to the wide shots, and I noticed—" He pulled up both images side by side, the framed photo, the woman in the background. "Look at them." I looked. The woman in the photo, younger, fuller face, longer hair. The woman in the background, older, thinner, shorter hair. But the eyes, the shape of the face, The way she stood. My breath stopped. I thought maybe it was a relative, Tony said carefully. An aunt? A sister? Someone who looked like her? But I wanted you to see it first, because if it is family, and Daisy doesn't know she was there. I couldn't speak, couldn't move. Just stared at the two images. The woman in the background wasn't an aunt. She was my mother. Emmett! Tony's voice sounded far away. Are you okay? I forced myself to breathe. Can you play the footage? The full clip? Of course. He clicked play. The ceremony began. Music started. Guests stood. Daisy appeared at the back of the aisle, arm linked with Dad's. And in the background, behind the oak tree, the woman stepped slightly into view. She was crying, silently, hand over her mouth, watching her daughter walk down the aisle. My vision blurred. I blinked hard. Emmett, Tony said gently. That's your mother, isn't it? I nodded, couldn't speak. I thought so. I wasn't sure, but when I saw the photo on the chair... He paused. I'm so sorry. Daisy told me her mother passed away years ago. I don't understand how... She didn't pass away. My voice came out flat, hollow. She disappeared 15 years ago. We never found her. We thought she was dead. Tony stared at me. Oh my God. Yeah. He was quiet for a moment. Emmett, I won't put this in the final video, not unless you tell me to. I wanted you to see it first, because this changes everything, doesn't it? Yeah, it does. I couldn't look away from the screen, from the woman who was supposed to be gone, who I'd mourned, who I'd learned to live without. She'd been there, at Daisy's wedding, watching from the shadows, alive. Can you send me this footage? I asked. Just this section. Don't include it in Daisy's video yet. I need to figure out what this means before she sees it. Of course. I'll send it to your email right now. Thank you, Tony, for calling me, for not just putting this in the video without telling anyone. Of course. He looked at me with something like sympathy. What are you going to do? I don't know yet. But that was a lie. I knew exactly what I was going to do. I was going to find her. I sat in my car outside Tony's studio for 20 minutes. Just sat there. Engine off. Phone in my hand. The video file was in my email. 40 seconds of footage. 40 seconds that proved my mother was alive. I should call Daisy. Tell her immediately. This was her wedding. Her right to know. But I didn't. Because if I told Daisy now, while she was on her honeymoon in Greece with Edwin, the trip that had been so eagerly awaited and postponed due to work commitments on both sides, it would destroy her. She'd fly home immediately. She'd spiral. She'd demand answers I didn't have yet. And Dad. If I told Dad without understanding what happened first, no. I needed to know the truth before I told anyone. I needed to understand why Mom had been at that wedding watching from a distance and why she hadn't come forward. Her case's lead detective was John Richards. I heard he retired a couple years ago, but I was sure he would be interested in what I had to show him. Detective John Richards lived in a quiet suburb south of Minneapolis. I found his address through a quick online search. Retired cops weren't hard to track down if you knew where to look. I called first. Didn't want to just show up. Richards. Detective Richards, this is Emmett Duncan. I don't know if you remember. Jennifer Duncan's son. I stopped. You remember. I remember every missing persons case I never solved. Your mother's was one of them. What can I do for you, Emmett? I need to talk to you. About the case. Something's come up. A pause. Something's come up after 15 years? Yes, sir. This about new evidence? I think so. Another pause. Longer this time. Come by tomorrow, 10 a.m. I'll pull the old files. Thank you, sir. Don't thank me yet. If there's something I missed, I want to know. But Emmett? Don't get your hopes up. I turned that case inside out. If there was a lead, I would have found it. I understand. But I didn't think he had found it. Because I don't think he knew what to look for. John Richards looked older than I remembered. Grayer, thinner, but his eyes were still sharp. He led me into his home office. Neat, organized. Shelves lined with binders and boxes. I kept copies, he said, gesturing to a box on his desk. Officially, the case file is at the station, but I made my own set when I retired, the ones that stayed with me. He tapped the box. Your mother's case is one of them. You never stopped thinking about it. No, I didn't. He sat down, gestured for me to sit across from him. Now, tell me what you found. I pulled out my laptop, showed him the video. He watched in silence. When it ended, he sat back, said nothing for a long moment. That's Jennifer. Yes, sir. At your sister's wedding, 4 months ago. Yes. She was alive, watching. Yes. He rubbed his face. Jesus Christ. Detective, I think she's in witness protection. He looked at me sharply. Why do you think that? It's the only explanation. She wouldn't leave us without a reason. And if she couldn't tell us why, if telling us would put us in danger... Richards nodded slowly. I thought about that. Back then, when she first disappeared. You did? Of course. I looked into her work, the accounting firm, talked to her boss, her co-workers, asked if she'd found anything unusual, any irregularities in the books. And? Nothing. Everyone said she was diligent, trustworthy, no red flags. But what if they were lying? What if the firm was dirty and they covered it up? Richards leaned back in his chair, studied me. Emmett, I investigated that firm, pulled their records, looked at their clients. There was nothing illegal. Or they hid it well. Or they hid it well, he conceded. But if Jennifer was in WITSEC, the feds wouldn't have told me. They wouldn't have told anyone. That's the whole point. Can you find out? Can you make calls? I'm retired. I don't have access anymore. But you know people. He smiled slightly. I know people. Will you help me? He looked at the laptop screen, at the frozen image of my mother. Yeah, I'll help you, because I never forgave myself for not finding her. And if she's alive, if she's been out there all these years, she deserves to come home. Richards made calls. 2 days of calls. Old contacts at Minneapolis PD. Friends at the FBI field office. People who owed him favors. On the 3rd day, he called me. Emmett, come to my house. Now. I drove over immediately. Richards looked tired, but there was something in his eyes. Something like vindication. I found something. What? Sit down. I sat. I talked to an old friend at the FBI. Guy I worked with on a task force years ago. I asked him hypothetically if someone from Minneapolis had entered WITSEC 15 years ago, September 2010, female, early 40s. And? He couldn't confirm anything officially, but he said off the record that there was a case, a woman who witnessed financial crimes, money laundering tied to organized crime. She provided evidence that led to multiple arrests, but the organization put a hit out on her. She had family, 2 kids, a husband. My heart pounded. What happened? She was given a choice. Entire family enters protection. New identities, new life, or she enters alone, cuts ties completely, protects her family by staying away. She chose to go alone. She chose to go alone because keeping her family in their life, school, friends, routines, was less traumatic than uprooting everyone. At least that's what she believed. I couldn't breathe. Where is she? He wouldn't say, couldn't. But Emmett. Richards leaned forward. If this is your mother, and I believe it is, she's been living under a different name for 15 years. Alone. Away from everyone she loves. To keep you safe. Safe from what? The people she testified against. The organization. They're powerful, connected. And they don't forgive. Are they still a threat? Richards hesitated. My contact said the main players were arrested and convicted. Most are in prison now, but these things are complicated. There could still be associates, people loyal to the organization. So she's still in danger. I don't know, but if she came to Daisy's wedding, even briefly, maybe she believes the threat has lessened. Or maybe... He paused. Maybe she just couldn't stay away anymore. I sat there, processing. My mother had been in witness protection for 15 years, alone, to protect us. I need to find her, I said. Emmett, if she's in WITSEC, the marshals won't tell you where she is. That's the whole point of the program. Then I'll make them tell me. It doesn't work like that. I don't care. She's my mother. She's alive. And she's been alone for 15 years thinking we hate her. I'm not letting her stay hidden anymore. Richards looked at me for a long moment. Then he pulled out a piece of paper, wrote something down, handed it to me, a name, a phone number. Marshal Amanda Stone, Minneapolis Field Office. She handles WITSEC cases in this region. If your mother is in the program, Marshal Stone would know. Will she talk to me? I don't know. But tell her I sent you. Tell her it's about Jennifer Duncan. And Emmett? He met my eyes. Be prepared for the possibility that they won't let you contact her, even if you know she's alive. WITSEC rules are strict. I'll deal with that when I get there. Good luck. I walked out, got in my car, pulled out my phone, called the number Richards had given me. U.S. Marshal Service, Minneapolis office. I need to speak with Marshal Amanda Stone. It's urgent. What is this regarding? Jennifer Duncan, witness protection. I'm her son. A pause. Hold, please. The line went quiet. Hold music played. Then a voice. Female? Professional. Careful. This is Marshal Stone. Marshal, my name is Emmett Duncan. Detective John Richards gave me your name. I need to talk to you about my mother, Jennifer Duncan. Silence. Then, Mr. Duncan, I can't discuss active WITSEC cases. So she is in the program. I didn't say that. You didn't deny it either. Another pause. Mr. Duncan, she was at my sister's wedding 4 months ago. She was there, watching from a distance, and then she left. I have video proof. I need to know where she is. I need to talk to her. Silence. Long enough that I thought she'd hung up. Then, you have video? Yes. From the wedding? Yes. Mr. Duncan, I need to see that video. Can you come to my office? Today? I'll be there in 30 minutes. I'll be waiting. Marshal Amanda Stone was in her early 40s. Professional. Composed. But when I showed her the video, her expression shifted. She watched it 3 times. Said nothing. Then she closed my laptop. Looked at me. Mr. Duncan, I can't confirm or deny anything about an ongoing WITSEC case. But, however, she held up a hand. If hypothetically someone in the program were to be recorded at a public event, and if that recording were to identify them, it would compromise their safety. So she is in the program. Stone didn't answer, just looked at me. Marshal, please. I just want to talk to her. I need her to know that we don't hate her, that we understand, that we want her to come home. Mr. Duncan, even if I could facilitate contact, which I'm not saying I can, it would be her decision, not yours, not mine. Participants in WITSEC have full autonomy. If she doesn't want contact, I can't force her. Then ask her, please. Just ask her if she'll see me. Stone was quiet for a long moment. Then she stood. Wait here. She left the room. I sat there, heart pounding, hands shaking. 15 minutes passed. Then Stone came back, sat down. Mr. Duncan, I'm going to tell you something off the record, and you cannot repeat this to anyone. Do you understand? Yes. The person you're asking about has been in protective custody for 15 years. She provided evidence that led to multiple arrests, but she kept backup copies. Insurance. The organization knew if they touched her family, everything goes public. So they had a choice: leave everyone alone and cut their losses, or risk total exposure. So she protected us by making herself dangerous. She protected you by making you dangerous to touch. Smart woman, your mother. That threat has been significantly reduced in recent months. The main figures in the organization she testified against have been incarcerated or deceased. However, there are still potential risks. Is she safe? As safe as anyone can be in her situation. Will you ask her if she'll see me? Stone studied me. I already did. My breath stopped. And? She said yes. I flew to Billings, Montana 3 days later. Marshal Stone had arranged everything: a meeting, neutral location, a park on the edge of the city, public enough to be safe, private enough to talk. Stone came with me. Protocol. She'd be nearby but wouldn't interfere unless necessary. I sat on a bench, hands shaking, barely breathing, and then I saw her, walking across the park, slowly, hesitantly, older, thinner, hair shorter, different clothes, different everything, but her eyes, still the same eyes. Mom. She stopped a few feet away, just stood there, looking at me. I stood up, couldn't speak. She started crying. Emmett! Her voice. I hadn't heard it in 15 years, but it was the same voice, the voice that used to read me bedtime stories, that used to sing in the kitchen, that used to tell me everything would be okay. Mom! The word broke something in both of us. She crossed the distance between us, pulled me into a hug, and I held her, held my mother, who I thought was dead, who I'd mourned, who I'd learned to live without. She was here, alive, real. I'm sorry, she whispered. I'm so sorry, baby. I'm so sorry. I know, Mom. It's okay. It's not okay. I left you. I left all of you. You were protecting us. I was destroying you. No, you were saving us. She pulled back, looked at me, tears streaming down her face. You found me. You weren't hiding very well. You came to Daisy's wedding. She laughed through her tears. I couldn't help it. I had to see her, just once. I wasn't going to go. I told myself I wouldn't. But then, the day came, and I couldn't stay away. I drove 10 hours, stood in the back, watched her marry that wonderful man, and then I left. The videographer caught you on camera. I know, Marshal Stone told me. I was careless. But Emmett, I don't regret it. Seeing Daisy in that dress, seeing her happy, it was worth it. She doesn't know yet that you were there, that you're alive. Mom's face crumpled. Does she hate me? She doesn't hate you, Mom. She misses you. We all miss you. Your father still loves you, never remarried, never even dated. He's been waiting for you for 15 years. Mom sat down on the bench, put her face in her hands. I don't deserve that. I sat next to her. Yes, you do. Mom, tell me what happened. Tell me everything. So she did. She told me about the accounting firm, about discovering the discrepancies in the books, about realizing the firm was a front for money laundering, about taking the evidence to the FBI. I thought I was doing the right thing, she said. I thought they'd arrest the people involved and that would be it. But it was bigger than I realized. Organized crime, dangerous people, and they found out I was the one who reported them. What happened? They threatened me, left a note on my car, said they'd hurt you, hurt Daisy, hurt your father. They knew where you went to school. They knew your routines. They knew everything. So the FBI put you in witness protection. They offered to put all of us in. New names, new city, new life. But Emmett, you were 14. Daisy was 11. Your father had his job that he loved. You both had friends. I couldn't take that away from you. I couldn't rip you out of your lives. So you left instead. I thought it would be temporary. I thought once the trial was over, once they were convicted, I could come back. But the FBI said even after the convictions there would still be associates, People who might come after me for revenge. They said the only way to keep you truly safe was for me to stay away. Indefinitely. For 15 years. For 15 years. She looked at me. Do you know what that's like? To know your children are out there growing up without you? To see their lives on social media through fake accounts I wasn't supposed to have and not be able to reach out? To miss birthdays and graduations and every single important moment? I can't imagine. I watched you graduate high school from behind a computer screen. I saw Daisy's college acceptance post. I saw your father aging, alone, and I couldn't do anything. I couldn't tell you I was alive. I couldn't tell you I loved you. I couldn't tell you I was doing this for you. Mom. And then Daisy got engaged, and I saw her wedding posts, and I thought, this is it. This is my daughter getting married, and I won't be there. I can't watch her walk down the aisle. I can't help her get ready. I can't be her mother on the most important day of her life. She was crying now. Really crying. But I couldn't stay away. I had to see her. Just once, even if she didn't know I was there. I put my arm around her. She had a photo of you on the chair next to Dad, front row. She wanted you there, even if you couldn't be. Mom sobbed. I saw it. I saw the photo, and it broke me. We sat there, mother and son. 15 years of distance between us. But in that moment, it felt like no time had passed at all. Mom, you can come home now. Marshall Stone said the threat level is low. The organization is gone. You're safe. Am I? Yes. And your father? Will he forgive me? He never stopped loving you? And Daisy? She'll need time. It's going to be hard. But Mom, she needs you. We all need you. Mom looked at me. You grew up, she said softly. You're a man now, and I missed it. I missed all of it. Then don't miss any more. Come home. She was quiet for a long time. Then she nodded. Okay. Okay. Okay, I'll come home. I called Daisy first. She and Edwin had just gotten back from their honeymoon. Emmett, hey, how are you? We just got… Daisy, I need you to come over to Dad's house. Tonight. There's something you need to know. What? Why? What's wrong? Nothing's wrong, just… Trust me. Come over. 7 p.m. Can you do that? Emmett, you're scaring me. Don't be scared, I promise. Just come. Okay, I'll be there. I hung up. Called Dad. Emmett? Dad, I need you to be home tonight. 7 p.m. Don't make plans. Why? What's going on? I'll explain tonight. Just be there. Emmett. Please, Dad, trust me. A pause, then, okay, I'll be here. Mom flew back to Minneapolis that afternoon. Marshall Stone arranged it. Protective detail until we were sure it was safe. She stayed at a hotel. Couldn't come to the house yet. Not until I told Daisy and Dad. At 6:45 p.m. I pulled up to Dad's house. The house we'd grown up in. The house Mom had left 15 years ago. Daisy's car was already there. She met me at the door. Emmett, what's going on? You're acting so weird. Let's go inside. I'll explain everything. Dad was in the living room, looking worried. Emmett, what's this about? I took a breath, pulled out my laptop, set it on the coffee table. I need to show you both something, and I need you to watch it before I explain. Watch what? Daisy asked. Just watch. I hit play. The video started. Daisy's wedding, the ceremony, wide angle from the back. Daisy watched, confused. This is my wedding. Why are you… Keep watching. The camera zoomed in. The oak tree. The figure behind it. The woman. Daisy's breath stopped. Dad leaned forward, stared at the screen. Is that? Yes? The woman stepped slightly into view, face visible now, crying, watching. Oh my God, Daisy whispered. That's Mom. Yes. Dad stood up, walked closer to the screen, hand over his mouth. That's Jennifer. Yes. Daisy turned to me. How is this possible? She's dead. She's been dead for 15 years. No, she hasn't. Then where the hell has she been? Daisy's voice rose. Where the hell has she been, Emmett? Witness protection. Silence. What? Dad's voice was barely a whisper. She testified against organized crime. They threatened to kill us, all of us, so she went into hiding to protect us. Daisy stared at me. For 15 years? Yes. She's been alive for 15 years and didn't tell us? She couldn't. It was the only way to keep us safe. I don't believe you. It's true, Daisy. It's you. Then where is she? If she's alive, where is she? I took a breath. She's here, in Minneapolis, at a hotel. She wants to see you. Daisy's face went white. She sat down, put her head in her hands. Dad just stood there, staring at nothing. I don't understand, he said finally. I don't understand any of this. I know. I'll explain everything. But Dad, she never stopped loving you. She left to protect us, not because she wanted to. 15 years, Emmett. 15 years I thought she was dead. I know. We had a memorial service. We buried an empty casket. I know. And she was alive the whole time. Yes. Dad sat down, put his face in his hands. Daisy looked at me, tears streaming down her face. She was at my wedding? Yes. She watched me get married and didn't tell me? She couldn't risk being seen. But she couldn't stay away either. I don't know if I can forgive her. You don't have to, not right away. But Daisy, she's our mom, and she's been alone for 15 years. Don't you want to at least hear her side? Daisy looked at Dad. Dad? Dad lifted his head. His eyes were red. I want to see her. Are you sure? I want to see my wife. We met at Dad's house the next day. Mom came with Marshall Stone, just in case. I opened the door. Mom stood there, nervous, terrified, more scared than I'd ever seen her. Hi, she said softly. Hi, Mom. Come in. She stepped inside, into the house she'd left 15 years ago, the house that still had her touches everywhere, the paint colors she'd chosen, the photos on the walls, the furniture she'd picked out. Dad was in the living room, standing, waiting. Mom stopped when she saw him. They stared at each other, 15 years of silence between them. Paul, she whispered. Dad's jaw clenched. He didn't move. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. You were alive. His voice broke. You were alive this whole time. I had to protect you. I had to protect the kids. They were going to kill you. So you let us think you were dead instead. I didn't have a choice. There's always a choice, Jennifer. Not this time. They threatened to kill all of us. But I had leverage. Evidence they couldn't let go public. So I made a deal through the FBI. I disappear. You and the kids get discreet protection. If anyone touches you, the evidence goes public and destroys what's left of their organization. You were blackmailing them. I was protecting you. Dad's face crumpled. Do you know what it was like, raising them alone, answering their questions about where you were, watching them cry themselves to sleep for months, years? I know. No, you don't. His voice rose. You don't know what it was like to be the one left behind. Mom's tears flowed freely now. You're right, I don't. But Paul, I thought about you every single day. I never stopped loving you. I wore my ring the entire time. She held up her left hand, the wedding band still there. Dad stared at it, then at her. I never took mine off either, he said quietly. He held up his hand. Same ring. Still there after 15 years. Mom sobbed, took a step toward him. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. If I could go back, if I could do it differently. But you can't. I know. They stood there, neither moving, years of pain and love and loss between them. Then Dad closed the distance, pulled her into his arms, and they both broke. I hate you, he whispered into her hair. I hate you so much for leaving. I know. But I never stopped loving you. I know. I don't know if I can forgive you. I don't expect you to, but I want to try. Mom pulled back, looked at him. Really? Really. They held each other, and for the first time in 15 years they looked like a couple again. Daisy came an hour later. She walked into the living room, saw Mom sitting on the couch, stopped. "Hi, baby," Mom said softly. Daisy didn't move, just stared. "You were at my wedding." "Yes." "You watched me get married and didn't say anything." "I'm sorry." "Do you know how many times I wished you were there? How many times I cried because you weren't?" "Daisy!" "And you were there. You were right there. And you didn't come to me." "I couldn't. If anyone saw me, if anyone knew I was alive, it would put you in danger." I don't care about danger, I just wanted my mom." Mom stood up, crossed to Daisy, but Daisy stepped back. "Don't. I can't do this right now." "Daisy, please." "No. You left me. You left me when I was 11 years old. Do you know what that did to me? Do you know how many years of therapy I've had? How many times I thought it was my fault? It was never your fault." "Then whose fault was it?" "Mine. It was my fault. I made the choice. I left to protect all of us." "You left to save yourself." "No." Mom's voice was firm now. "I left to save you. They were going to kill you, Daisy. They knew where you went to school. They knew your schedule. They were going to hurt you to get to me. So, I left. I gave up everything, my children, my husband, my life, to keep you safe. And I would do it again. Every time. Because you're my daughter. And I would die before I let anyone hurt you. I made a deal with them to disappear in exchange for your safety." Daisy stared at her, tears streaming. "I missed you at my wedding." "I know, baby. I had your picture on the chair next to Dad because I wanted you there so badly. I saw it, and it broke my heart. You should have been there, really there, not hiding." "I know." Daisy wiped her face. Mom pulled Daisy into her arms, and they both sobbed. I stood in the doorway, watching, Dad beside me. "We're going to be okay," he said quietly. "Yeah, we are." The next few months were hard. Mom moved back to Minneapolis, got an apartment, didn't want to rush things by moving back in with Dad immediately. They went to therapy, individually and together, processed 15 years of trauma and separation. Daisy and Mom met for coffee every week. Sometimes it was good. Sometimes Daisy cried. Sometimes she was angry. But she kept showing up. And so did Mom. Dad and Mom went on dates, like they were starting over. In some ways, they were. Marshall Stone officially closed Mom's WITSEC case. The threat was gone. The organization dismantled. Mom could reclaim her identity. Jennifer Duncan was alive again. We had a family dinner 3 months after Mom came back. At Dad's house, all of us. Mom, Dad, Daisy, Edwin, me. It felt surreal, having Mom there, passing her the potatoes, hearing her laugh at Dad's terrible jokes, watching her talk to Edwin about architecture, like she'd never left. But also, nothing like before, because we'd all changed. We'd all grown. We'd all learned to live without her, and now we had to learn to live with her again. 6 months after Mom came home, Daisy and I were at her apartment, helping her unpack the last boxes. She'd finally moved back in with Dad, taken it slow, but they were ready. Daisy held up an old photo album. "Look at this." I looked. Photos from when we were kids. Birthday parties, holidays, school plays. Mom appeared in the doorway, saw what we were looking at. "I took those with me," she said quietly. "When I left, I wasn't supposed to. Marshall Stone said I should leave everything behind. But I couldn't. I needed something to remember you by." "You looked at these?" Daisy asked. "Every night, for 15 years. Daisy's eyes welled up. "Mom, I know I missed so much. I know I can't get those years back. but I'm here now, and I don't want to miss any more." Daisy stood up, hugged her. Me neither. I watched them, mother and daughter, healing, slowly, but healing. My mother disappeared for 15 years. We thought she was dead. We mourned her. We learned to live without her. But she was alive, hiding, protecting us from a distance. And when we found her, when that videographer called me about footage from my sister's wedding, it changed everything. We got our mother back, our family back, our future back. It wasn't easy, but it was real. And sometimes that's all you need: a second chance, a new beginning, and the courage to forgive. Have you ever discovered a family secret that changed everything? Have you ever had to forgive the unforgivable? Share your story in the comments below. If this story about family, secrets, forgiveness, and second chances touched your heart, please hit that like button and subscribe for more true stories that will make you think, feel, and believe in the power of love and redemption. Don't forget to click the notification bell so you never miss our next story. Thanks for watching.